As we left Ketchikan, a town of just over 8,000 people, it started to sink in that this was going to be the biggest town we were going to see in Alaska. From now on, it would be tiny towns, deserted anchorages, and big wildlife. And that's just what we like. It finally felt like our massive adventure had begun. We're approaching our anchorage now. It looks quite tight, so I'm going to have a look on the front, make sure everything looks okay. Looks deserted. So we're not alone, there's actually a fire down there we can see. And a little hut. We managed to anchor after 2 attempts and decided to go to sleep early. When we woke up, it was a gorgeous, warm, sunny day. We're at Kasan Island. It's a little island near the Prince of Wales Island. We actually changed plans last minute because we met a guy called Tim down at the dock in Ketchikan, and he suggested coming here rather than our original plans, which is a good reason why we don't kind of stick to plans or make plans, because you never know what you're going to find out from locals. We're going to go now to shore and have a bit of a look around. We're taking some bear spray just in case. I really still want to see a bear. So let's go.
Not going anywhere.
This is my bed of sea asparagus with the ocean and mountains view. So nice. And you can eat the sea asparagus. It's really, really salty, but a nice little snack. And I've been told you can pickle it or just use it straight on meals. So I'm hoping if I can catch a salmon today, I can cook some of it, maybe even on a campfire, and use some of this sea asparagus. We saw this phone booth on the way into this anchorage, so we came to have a look, and we're so curious as to why it's here. There's nothing else around. I can't hear anything.
I don't think it still works.
I'm just double checking. Yeah, no ringtone.
But look at that view. Whew. I'd accept a collect call from here any day.
We found a whole bunch of salal berries in the forest just behind where we're anchored, and I'm wondering if maybe they go with salmon. Just got to catch one first. After a great day and another early night, I had one thing on my mind: salmon fishing.
All right, it's round 2 for halibut fishing. This time I'm gonna catch a halibut and she is gonna rig the rods.
No, I'm gonna catch a salmon and you're gonna rig the rods.
You could have at least said I could catch a halibut in there. I mean, come on, not really thoughtful. Anyway, we have a little bit of a better different setup this time. We're a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna be out there until we catch another big fish. It's gonna happen. It has to happen. We're willing it to happen.
Or just a salmon, that's all right.
All right, let's go. All right, we've stopped at a spot on the chart that is super flat. and halibut are flat. So it just makes sense that they'd be here. There's also salmon jumping all around us. So I'm gonna catch my halibut, Yvette's gonna catch her salmon. I can feel it in my bones. Let's get fishing.
Got something. It's probably a rockfish though in our luck today. Yep. Fish on!
Fish on!
Yep. Please be a salmon. Almost there.
Come on, come on! Oh no!
I was just caught on your line!
You were just caught on my line!
Oh man, I thought it felt different to normal.
Oh, that's terrible.
There's literally a fish just jumping over there.
All right. Well,
I don't think today's our day. Our luck's run out.
that's okay. We'll win with sheer determination.
Yeah. We may be living out here for the rest of our lives. Got another fish on. I was near the bottom though, so I don't think it's a salmon.
All right, what do we got? It is a rockfish. So this is a rockfish descender, or the cod descender, because the rockfish have trouble getting back down to the bottom by themselves. So it's weighted and it has an automatic release when it gets down to the depth that we caught him at. So we're gonna let this little guy go, take him back down from where he came. See? No more rockfish. The jaws opened up. These are the jaws right here. Close them and then they open automatically when they get to depth. So I have a giant lure, a giant fish on it, and I catch like the world's smallest fish. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you.
I don't know how that fish thought it was going to eat that bait. Nearly lost your herring bait.
Yeah, nearly lost my herring.
This is not our day.
No, no it is not. But you know what we need to do to turn our day around?
Yeah, no.
We need to go fishing. And we need to catch something.
That's all we need.
And since we're already fishing, all we need to do is catch something.
I got something! I got something! Yeah! Yes. Feels kind of heavy. Please be a salmon.
Oh, it looks huge!
Oh,
Oh, it's a salmon!
yes,
It's a salmon!
yes.
Yeah, I got it! I got it!
Yes. Okay.
Hey,
Don't
hold
panic.
on! Hold on!
Don't panic! Don't
Get it in!
panic.
Get it in!
Don't let it jump out. Yes!
Yeah! Woo! There you go!
Finally a salmon!
Salmon!
Too.
Woo!
Yay!
All right.
Salmon for dinner. I reckon maybe a fire.
Fire?
Celebrate.
Celebrate?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Maybe some wine and relaxing.
Woo, that's a big boy too.
Yep.
All right. Let's do this.
Yep. Yay!
All right, hun. First salmon.
Yep. So first time filleting it. Just gonna Google it as usual and hopefully I go okay.
What would we do without YouTube?
I know, we wouldn't survive. We wouldn't know how to do any of this without YouTube and Google. Alright, here goes. We caught the salmon finally. It's starting to get dark, but we still really want to have a beach fire. We found this when we were walking along here, and it's sea asparagus, which you can eat. It's really salty. So I'm going to get some and put it with the fish on the fire. Found some salal berries as well. They're really yum, and if I can stop myself from eating them, I'm going to put them on the salmon too. just getting the fire going. We've got the salmon, some lemons, salt and pepper, the sea asparagus, and the salal berries. Ooh, and wine. We cooked the salmon on a flat rock we found on the beach. This was the kind of night I dreamed of during the refit. When we put the fire out, we were already thinking about tomorrow's adventures.
We're about to head to the town of Kasan, but first we need to fuel up the dinghy. We've been going through a lot more dinghy fuel, gas, petrol, whatever you want to call it, than we thought we were going to. So we're hoping that they might have a fuel station. We still have a little bit on board, but we're going to bring this fuel can just in case, but we are going to fuel up as well.
My name is Eric Hamer. Haida name is Non-Cutting Us, and I'm from Kasan.
All right, and what are you doing here with this totem pole?
We're making it a totem pole. Yeah.
I mean, that's right.
Yeah, we're basically when I apprenticed under a master carver when I was a teenager, and he told me, I asked him how do you carve a totem pole, and he said, well, first thing you do is you take off everything that's not a totem pole, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
And you're sure I'm not going to screw this up?
Well, I'll let you know if you do. It's fine. If you screw up and put your name by it, everybody will know. Darcy was here.
Oh, God.
It's kind of a rocking motion. A lot of wrist, just a teeny little bit of elbow, barely any shoulder at all. There's a number of reasons for this. One of them is so you don't tire yourself out, because if you're trying to like hog things out like this. The other thing is that if you have this much range of motion, if you miss, you're not going to cut into something that you're not trying to. Probably starting up here somewhere. And you're not trying to take off large chunks. What you're trying to do is just take off thin chips like that. Okay. So it's not an aggressive movement. It's just, it should be relaxing.
Small chunks.
Yeah. You're a natural.
That's a lie.
That confidence coming back. Yeah. You know, a little bit more wrist in there. There you go. It's not a tool for folks who have carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
So how long would it take to make all of this, to make this totem pole here?
You know, on this one in particular, I don't think I've got I probably don't have more than 100 hours into it at this point.
I gave a solid 10 seconds there. So
well, yeah, that was good. I mean, that's
where do I sign up for my pay?
Well, if you're getting paid when I'm paid, it doesn't matter.
So you were saying before that you guys rebuilt the longhouse as well?
Yep. Yeah, it was the only surviving traditionally built Haida longhouse in the country. Mouthful, but there it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it was built in 1880 by Hat, and it was rebuilt in 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and then we rebuilt it again in 2000. 2012, 2016. It was about a 4-year project.
Nice.
So me and myself, my father, and 2 other carvers worked on that project. So.
Oh, we'll definitely go and check that out.
Yeah.
We took the forest path to see the longhouse that Eric and the other carvers had rebuilt. It was a beautiful walk dotted with handcrafted wood carvings. We even got to play peekaboo with the little bird. When we got up close to the longhouse, we could see every single hand stroke that went into building it. On the way back to the dinghy, we met Mike and his friends. They helped us out with some fishing tips, and Mike even gave us some halibut bait.
You can have that stuff right there.
So Mike just gave us a bunch of halibut bait and some advice on how to catch a halibut. Mike, that was very nice of you, and now I give you my word as a human, we are going to catch a big halibut.
Now we really have to. No more excuses. Alright.
Let's get back to the boat. So we're just about ready to leave Happy Harbor on Kasan Island. We just got back from the small town of Kasan and we spent way too much time there because everybody was so nice and we were having just such a good time. So now, where are we headed?
I don't know. We just looked on the map and found an anchorage that looked pretty.
Yeah, we'll let you know when we get there. Forget the name of it, but it looked pretty, and more importantly, apparently there's a chance to see bears there.
Yeah, one of the reviews said that they did, and that was relatively recently. So, fingers crossed.
We're going to see a bear!
We took our time getting to the next anchorage, even though it meant arriving in the dark. How could we not when the wildlife and scenery are this beautiful? We woke up to a gorgeous morning and decided it was about time we got some boat jobs done.
Today my job is to redesign the dinghy davit hoist. This is what we want to use, and we don't want to be pulling on this anymore because it really sucks. What we have been doing is one of the lines, there's 2 lines that come out here. We wrap one around this winch here, and then I just pull on the other one to pull it up. But before we left, I welded these on, so now we're going to connect the lines to these so we can just wind up the dinghy really easily, and it'll also clean up the space here so it won't be all messy with rope. So this is Dyneema. Well, it's not really Dyneema, that's a trade name, but it's really strong rope and it's really thin rope. So this is what we're going to use instead of this rope to lift the dinghy up. I welded this little thing on right here, this little tab, before we left because I knew I wanted to do this, and I'm just getting around to it now. So the line is going to come out of the winch here. It's going to run through a block that I'm going to put on this tab, this block right here, and then it's going to cross over and then down. So these blocks come with their own little shackles. So I'm just going to undo the shackles and put them on the tabs that I welded on. And I'm also going to put some Loctite on these so they don't unscrew easily. So this is what it looks like. The tab's been welded on, and I've attached this. This is how we lower the dinghy right now. It's a bit of a pain, but you just do it a little bit at a time. It's a real pain if you're me, because you constantly forget to put the dinghy plug in, and then you have to lift it up in a panic. These lines look way too thin. It's just, I've never used this Dyneema stuff before, but it's really, really strong, so it should be good. So now we're gonna crank it up and see if it works. I don't like it.
You don't?
No!
Yeah, no, it's so thin. It's so thin.
I feel really weird about how thin this line is. It's like a piano.
A piano?
Yeah, like a piano. Like you can, I don't, it's like a string instrument. Like a string instrument, not like a piano.
Technically, pianos have strings in them.
There you go, that's what I was thinking of.
Sure you will.
Seems to be strong enough, seems to be holding up. And now we can easily lift and lower.
When we bolted the solar panels onto the hardtop when we were still back at the dock, we drilled them in. So that's where you drill a nice big hole, then fill it with fiberglass, and then drill again before you put the bolt through. And that's so that water that drips through can't get into the core of the fiberglass, the foam core. We didn't waterproof it, however, so when we started going on this trip and it started raining, we got wet, and the two of the bolts, there's lots of bolts, but two of them were right above our head on the captain's seat. So we got really wet, and my genius idea was to put tape and redirect the water, which worked okay, but I'm finally getting around to waterproofing them properly. So that's what I'm going to do today.
It definitely did not work okay.
It was alright, it was better than before. But I will get rid of the tape. This is butyl tape. It's not really tape, it's more like a waterproof putty. I'm going to put it on the bolts so that the water can't drip through. Now I just have to tighten them from the bottom. As I tighten down on this nut, it squeezes down on the butyl tape above and makes it waterproof. They should all be waterproof now, and it is supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll have a good check of it then. We still need to cut the bolts down though, because Darcy keeps hitting his head, and it's definitely not in a great position above the steering wheel. After finishing off the boat jobs, we decided to relax a bit before taking off to our next destination. If you like this video, you can subscribe to keep following along on our massive adventure. See you next Friday.